Hey everyone, welcome to Pass or Play. So today I'll be reviewing Vampire Academy Season 1, Episode 8, currently streaming on Peacock. Alright. So Victor, he found the body of the feeder that he sent to Sonya's room in the last episode, and she killed the feeder. So now Victor has the feeder's body moved discreetly. He pays one of the Dampier to do it, keep it under wraps. What Sonya has done, and he has, his people looking for her, and basically he's just keeping it, from the queen and everyone because he's running to be the king of the Dominion. So he's trying to keep this under wraps. Now the trials begin, which is a set of 3 trials, and the 3 trials for, between basically Tatiana and Victor, to be the next ruler of the Dominion is based on, their control of the elements. And, that's going to be the deciding factor, not the queen. And Victor does win. All right. I'm going to come back to that towards the end of this, towards the end of the review. And then we're going to go to now Christian. He's training with a Dampier to use his fire magic in a defensive way. Even though he's not supposed to, it makes sense. If they have these powers, they should use them to defend themselves and not just count on the Dampier, and that's what Christian's doing. Um, and after the training's over, Alyssa comes and asks Christian, will he marry her for convenience, so she can get, the power to vote. And because he has Dragmere blood apparently too in his line as well, and so she can marry him and still get the power to vote without marrying Jesse Eccles. And Kristen says yes, he cares about her, he cares for her, but he lets her know that his parents have been leaving him gifts at the academy. And, Rose knew, but, Christian says, I told Rose not to tell you. It was my secret, to keep and to tell. And there's three things that they have to do, Christian and Lissa, to get married. One is to do like a blood ceremony with the monks. They have to make a public announcement, to the Dominion. And there's a third one that they have to do, which they did say, but they end up doing the blood oath with the monks, and they do announce that they're betrothed to the Dominion, but they don't do the second one. So they're still betrothed in this episode. And we'll continue that story a little bit later too. Then we go to the Dampier now. Rose and kind of the other trainees. They get Christian, and they let him know that maybe the car accident, that killed Lissa's family, the Dragomirs, wasn't an accident, and that they believe that someone in the royal bloodline is using the Strigoi to try to kill Lissa so she can't vote. Um, and after this, Lissa and Rose, they go to take this kind of potion that gives them the ability to walk through the memories of that night and of the car accident. And they remember that there were Strigoi there that night. And they realize that it wasn't an accident. This was done on purpose. However, after the memory walk, Rose agrees that, her and Lissa, they must go their own way without each other to kind of figure out who they are and what they want. And at this point, Rose was kind of upset with Lissa, from the last episode, saying, that, she can't, that Lissa has to separate from Rose, basically to protect her. And in this episode, Rose just kind of keeps avoiding, talking to Lissa. Not up until they do this dream walk where they kind of reconcile. And then, after this kind of discovery, again, now Rose is saying, we should be separate. We should kind of be apart to kind of figure out who we are, and what we want. But then ironically, while Rose is trying to avoid Lissa, Dimitri is keeping his distance from Rose. He's trying to avoid her, though he doesn't want to. And at one point, for one of the trials, that Dimitri and Tatiana does to try to become king or queen, one of the trials is that each one of them selects a Dhampir to fight for them on their behalf, and whichever one wins that specific trial. And because Dimitri's been avoiding Rose, she asked Victor, can she fight for him in this trial? And in the trial, she's trying to talk to Dimitri, and he's still just kind of being really being removed from the situation and the fight, and he ends up losing, and she just kind of ends up like beating him almost to a bloody pulp. And after this, a little bit after you kind of the fight and the loss in that trial, he ends up sleeping with Tatiana. Because now at this point Tatiana has lost and Dimitri's lost, so they're basically consoling each other, and they end up sleeping with each other. Um, and then we go back to Christian, who at first he thought it was Jesse Zekos that maybe is the one behind, getting his parents gifts to him, and you know being the inside person that's maybe trying to kill Lissa. But then he realizes that the royal feeder Diana is most likely the inside contact, because Diana from the very beginning was supporting and encouraging Christian to go after Lissa from the very get go, and she knew that Lissa and Christian were dating, or they were hanging out, however you want to look at that. And also too, as a royal feeder, Diana, she can come and go from the premises of the Dominion, so she could have left. She can go in and out. She could have gotten gifts or these items from Christian's parents, brought it in, to sneak it into his room, because they can walk throughout the Dominion, and they can go in and out of the walls. So he thinks that it actually is Diana that's the one that's kind of the inside man for his parents, or the Strigoi, and whoever may be the royal, bloodline, family, kind of, who's trying to, again, kill Lissa. And when he tells Lissa this, Lissa's like, I know you're a good person, and you're not like your parents. And she also lets him know, even though she knows this, she also lets him know that that his parents were there the night of the car accident, and it's most likely his parents that had Lissa's parents, killed, and brother. And she says, though she cares about him, and she wants to get married, and she wants to have fun, she doesn't want to look forward. She wants to look forward and not back. And by knowing that Christian's parents were a part of having her family killed, it makes her angry and enraged. They kind of give the feeling that she's kind of canceling the wedding between the two of them, but she doesn't necessarily say it. They just kind of give the impression. And Christian's like, I knew this was too good to be true, or too good to last. We were never meant to be. And she kind of walks away, then she runs back and kisses him, and then it kind of ends their scene there. So it's kind of given the sense that because of this new development of his parents being involved with killing her parents and her brother, she doesn't feel that it's right to marry him. And since you got Diana, the royal feeder, who may be manipulating the circumstances too, it just may not be a good idea for them to be for them to be betrothed to each other, even though out of all of her choices, you know she actually likes Christian. He cares for her. He's not the Zekos. And in this episode too, it looks like Zekos is going somewhere. He has luggage, and it looks like he's leaving to go somewhere, but it doesn't say where he's going. But That's earlier when Christian corners him and asks him, I know you're one that's doing this. And he's like, I'm not doing this. I only care about me. And then and now we get back to, so now Victor has won the trials, and now it's a ceremony where basically he gets this, the celebration or the ceremony of him actually being sworn in as the king or the monarch. And as part of the trials of the ceremony, Tatiana, as his opponent, she's supposed to give a concession speech and some kind of gift to Victor. But when it comes time for Tatiana to do that, she says, under the circumstances, the elements are wrong in their choice. For Victor, for he's sick, his body's sick, and he's sick in his faith. And for Sonya now Strigoi, she's trapped in a box for all to see. And they will out Sonya and they in this clear box, and you see that she's trapped in it. And now and she's Strigoi now, so basically it looks like Tatiana found Sonya before Victor's people were able to, or maybe she knew about it from the get go and had Sonya captured right away. But either way, and this is where the episode ends. So Victor kept telling his husband and his daughter that Sonya was um, in the room or something. She was on vacation or something in a room sleep. So he knew that she was missing and he knew what she did, but he just kept pretending like she was away kind of doing something else. And so, of course, everybody sees it, including them. And then they realize that he's been lying. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. But yeah, this is a good episode. There wasn't really any, well, there was a little bit of action, the Dampier fighting. There was a scene with them using the Tatiana and Victor using their elemental powers. But because Victor was sick, because Victor's still sick and has that illness, he lost that first trial to Tatiana as far as them using their elemental magic because he just got weak. But he did win the last. He did win the other two. And the last trial was taking like some like jellied blood of one of the royal family leaders, and kind of go like on a spirit journey of finding out like what does it mean to be a real leader, and whoever wakes up first and answers the question kind of won that trial. And that's what happened with Victor. So he won two trials, and that's how he beat. But he did beat Tatiana fair and square. He didn't cheat. So other than the thing with Sonya, if that had not happened, there would have really been nothing Sonya can. There would have been nothing that Tatiana could kind of throw against him. I guess. So we'll see. Just because Sonya's maternity to Strigoi doesn't necessarily mean that he still can't be, monarch or the king. But I guess, of course, Tatiana's going to try to use this to make herself the queen. She's fighting to get this. Maybe she'll be better than him. Maybe she won't. I guess we'll find out. This is episode 8. I'm assuming they're going to do 10 episodes, so we're over halfway through. So we'll see what ends up happening next. But hey, if you like the review, hit the like button. If you have any comments, if I missed anything, or any comments about how you feeling about the season so far, comment below. And hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And thank you to those who have subscribed. Other than that, I will see you next time.